Hey, shalom to the hopeful elect. First and foremost, I like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders at Great Millstone who teach the truth and rule well. This is the brother Yatabia Allah coming back from the GMS SF Bay Area camp. And I got a quick lesson today. All right, Lord's will is edifying. But just in the news, you got a lot of things going on, a lot of prophecy speaking. All right. I'm just gonna grab a couple articles. I got a couple scriptures lined up, and Lord's will is edifying. But hey, this is it's beautiful times. All right, it's prophecy, which let me get this because hey, this is what's speaking right now. All right. Where's Habakkuk? Habakkuk 2:1. It says, "I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I'm reproved." And that's what the men of the Lord are doing, from the apostles and elders on down. Hey, we're on our watch. All right. And what are we watching for? We're watching for the prophecies. All right. It says, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." And what are these visions? The prophecies. All right. Hey, this is why the Bible holds so much weight. All right. This is why, when the Lord gives us that faith, it's beautiful because we're allowed to see these prophecies. And see, right now, we're allowed to see them happen in real time. All right. Verse 3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time." So these prophecies are set for an appointed time. All right. "But at the end it shall speak." So when the Lord sees fit to make these prophecies come to pass, that's when they'll come. But at the end, it's what they'll start speaking. They'll start being made manifest. All right. It says, "And not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." And we're not in the time where it's tarrying anymore. All right. Hey, these prophecies are coming. And again, it's beautiful times. All right. Now let me read this. There's a couple headlines. All right. It says, "Port workers strike could cost billions. Here's what to know." So there you have those dock workers on the East Coast striking, and I think it was today, right? Yeah, they started today. All right. Going through contracts. You had all these billionaire companies, billion-dollar companies making money, especially during that pandemic. And here it is. The port workers want a little bit more money, but they won't give them it. All right. So now they're shutting everything down. Now, let me just read it. It says, "Dock workers along the East Coast and Gulf Coast walked out on Tuesday, a stoppage that could become one of the most disruptive strikes in U.S. history. Experts in trade organizations said halting the daily shipments of goods worth billions. About 45,000 members of the International Longshoremen's Association began their strike Tuesday, affecting 14 ports, Baltimore all the way to Delaware. It says the ILA is requesting a wage increase as part of a new contract with the United States Maritime Alliance, the organization representing shipping companies that employ the workers at Costco Shipping, Hapag Lloyd, and Maersk, among others, according to the Wall Street Journal, which cited one unnamed source who said the union sought a 77% increase. That's pretty much it. It says up this right here. It says up to 7.5 billion. That's how much the ILA strike could cut from the U.S. economy each week. Grace Zimmer, an economist of the financial and analyst from firm Oxford Economics, told the BBC. Analysts from the Conference Board, a New York-based think tank, estimates a one-week strike could cost the U.S. economy about 3.7 billion, ahead of estimates of 2.1 billion from the financial research firm Anderson Economic Group. All right. It says the ports involved in the strike handle about 14% of all agriculture exports in the U.S. and 73% of all imports. So that's a big number of all the imports. It says, according to the American Farm Bureau, Wilmington's port is the nation's leading importer of bananas, and about 1/4 of all banana imports in the U.S. will be impacted, the Bureau said. The ports also handle more than 68% of all containerized exports, goods sold in bulk like food, raw materials, or electronics that are shipped in containers, and about 56% of all containerized imports. It says perishable and non-perishable goods will also be affected, including cherries, wine, beer, and liquor, as well as cocoa, sugar, furniture, and appliances, among others. The Port of Baltimore handles the nation's largest volume of auto imports, according to government data. Other goods that could face shortages include tin, tobacco, nicotine, Zimmer said. So again, going into these food items, all right, it handles 73% of all imports. That's a big number. So you see, hey, the Lord is allowing this to get shut down. You know, we'll see how long it goes, but they said every week it's a couple billion. All right, and this could really have chaos erupt fast. All right, and then along with that, you know, you have talks of Teamsters union going on strike, which handles all the trucking across the U.S. All right, so we're seeing a lot of things going on in the news. All right, and I'll read this last one, get a couple scriptures. This is the war. All right, it says Israel says Iran will pay for launching a major missile attack against it. Iran launched dozens of missiles towards Israel on Tuesday, and what it was said was a response to the killing of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah and others, potentially taking the region closer to a wider conflict. The CNN teams on the ground in multiple locations in Israel observed dozens of missiles piercing through the skies as sirens blasted across the country. At least one person was killed and several were injured during the attack, according to the Israeli military. All right. It says, speaking hours after this, right here. It says, Israel has vowed to respond to the attack, sparking worries among its allies that the conflict in the Middle East could escalate further. Speaking hours after the assault, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Iran made a big mistake tonight and it will pay for it. The regime in Iran does not understand our determination to defend ourselves and our determination to retaliate against our enemies. It says, the Israeli Defense Forces said it estimated that Iran fired 180 projectiles. All right, which you've seen, it only killed about one person. You know, and the elder Ariella in Dallas was going into it. You know, it's a little Iran showing their teeth. All right, but again, this is prophecy, and I believe they said Iran was touching down in, where was it? Lebanon. So supposedly there was a ground offense that they're starting in Lebanon. All right, we'll see how that progresses. But hey, we're right here, like Habakkuk the 2nd chapter said. All right, hey, these prophecies, because it's the end, they're speaking. All right, now let me jump over here to Matthew real quick. And I'll start at verse 3. It says, and as Matthew 24:3, it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So the disciples are asking Yahweh Shai, what are the signs? Right, that when you're about to make your return, and the end of this regime of Esau, all right, and the heathen. It says, and Yahweh Shai answered unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. And these are the signs to look for. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many, which you have that. You have a lot of these false anointed anti-Hamashiachs, all right, that are deceiving the people in their false doctrines. It says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And this is exactly what we're seeing going on right now. All right, you have the war right here in with Israel and on all these Arab nations. All right, in the Middle East, you have Ukraine and Russia. That thing's still popping off. All right, you have the little skirmishes going on in Taiwan and China, or the rumors of war in Taiwan and China. All right, you have the rumors of America getting backed up in this thing, and you know, the whole basically all those Arab countries coming against Israel. All right, this is exactly where we're at in prophecy. It says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. All right, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And there's a couple more prophecies that need to happen. All right, the main one, the primary one that we keep going into, it seems like every day, is that MOTB. But you know what just happened is they did that whole Pact of the Future in the UN. All right, it was a couple different pacts that they basically agreed on, which goes into setting up that infrastructure and actually implementing it in a so-called shock event. All right, so all these countries are on board. And I believe it was 193 countries. It was something around. It was a whole bunch of nations that came to this agreement. All right, to further basically further that MOTB system. All right, so this is real fast, and the elder Ariala was going into it. They could really implement this thing real fast, and he mentioned how during the time of that pandemic, what did they do? They implemented those QR codes. Basically that's it's everywhere now. And that happened fast. So the same thing with the MOTB. And again, according to that UN literature, all it takes is a so-called quote-unquote shock event, which could be a major, this thing, this strike. It could be war. It could be something medical. All right. Any type thing could shut this shit down. All right. And they could implement their system. Okay. But again, these prophecies must come to pass, specifically the MOTB. Okay, verse 7, it says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. All right, and again, this is what you're seeing going on all over the place. But this is the point, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So famines, all right. So we have these union strikes going on, which is bringing in a lot of the food. Okay, bananas, other container bulk items, which goes into food. All right, which again, it's even if it's a fabricated famine, okay, even if it leads to shortages and food not coming in, well, that's still a famine. All right, people are still not able to get food. Okay, so this is exactly what we're seeing. It says in pestilences and earthquakes, so you have different diseases that are going to be running rapid, and you see that going on. All right, earthquakes increasing in magnitude in diverse places all over the world. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows. All right. So this is the point. This is the times we're living in. All right. Now let me jump over here real quick. Joel 3:9. You know what? Let me jump over here a second. Ezra 15, and then I'll get into the war. All right. But you know what? Yep. Let me get straight to the point. It says, yep, 2nd Ezra 15 and 11, all right? It says, but I will bring with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and will destroy all the land thereof. All right, modern day Egypt is America, and it's getting hit with these plagues. It says it's the controlled demolition of America, if you will. It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands. All right, this is what we're seeing going on. It says, for there shall be sedition among men. All right, a sedition, and we brought this out in camp. All right, when you go into that word sedition, basically it means people coming up against authority. All right, let me just get it real quick in the etymon. Yep, sedition in the online etymon. Let me bring it up in here actually. Right here. Bear with me. Yep, sedition, now mid-14th century. It says rebellion, uprising, revolt, factitious commotion in the state, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority, civil disorder, dissension, rebellion, mutiny. Literally a going apart, without a part aside, going from ear to go. So, this is what we're seeing. All right, a lot of these protests going on. All right, even this, this strike, which is a small scale, rebellion, which really they just want some money. All right, but it's going against those higher authorities. All right, but we're gonna see things increasing. We're gonna see all out protests and riots. All right, blood in the streets. This is what's coming over here to America, specifically America too. All right, all over the world, but it's gonna touch down over here in America as well. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, it's going to get to the point where there's not going to be any type of rule. All right, with these cops, the judges, these people aren't going to care because it's going to get that bad out here. All right, it says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. They're going to lock these things down. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, so, whether this is going to lead into it, all right, Lord's will it is, the strike. But nonetheless, there's going to come a time where there's going to be a lack of bread. All right, there's going to be these people going crazy, spoiling these other people's houses. All right, going upon their own neighbors who they used to be cool with. All right, they might even broke bread with them, haven't had them over for a barbecue, but now they're taking everything they got because it's going to get that bad out here. All right, and Lord's will, this just, it creates a snowball effect and things just, hey, this is it. All right, Lord's will. Verse 20 says, behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south and from the east, and Lebanus to turn themselves one against another and repay the things which they have done to them. Yeah, that's pretty much it on here. Yep, let me jump over here real quick. Because, Jeremiah. The apostle, all right, to Hardin this year, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and all these famines, you can see, these protests, all right, the wars that are coming, you can see where things are heading. All right, Jeremiah 30. And let me start at verse 5. It says, for thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. This is what's coming over here. All right, and it's no peace. It says, ask you now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. This is how bad it's going to get. These men are going to be bugging out. All right. Verse 7, alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. So there's not going to be, the times we're coming into, there's not going to be something like this that existed before. All right. It's going to be that bad out here. It's called Jacob's trouble. All right, and he that shall be saved out of it is the elect, because the elect are going to go through these things, but the Lord is going to give them a way to escape. All right, no matter what situation they're in, the Lord is going to get them through it. All right, Lord's will we be of that number. But this is what we're seeing happening in this, and it's beautiful because, again, Apostle Tohar mentioned that's what he deemed this year. All right, back in last January was the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, and we're seeing it come to light as we speak. All right, we're seeing what it could lead to. It could lead to more sedition. All right, more famines. All right, we're entering into the winter. Esau's releasing some shit, can release some more pestilence. All right, and we're on the brink of World War III. Okay, this is where we're at. All right, real quick, Revelation 11 and 14. It says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Second woe was that second world war. The third woe is this third world's war, which it's already prophesied. You see it right here. All right, if you can receive it, this is talking about the third world war. So it's just a matter of time. But we understand that MOTB has to be implemented first. Okay, but again, everything is going digital. The market's getting ready to crash. The elites are getting ready to push this thing. All right. Let me jump over here to Joel, the 3rd chapter. All right. And it says, Joel 3:9, it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So the Lord is preparing all these nations to get ready for war. Okay. You're seeing them go for tit for tat. You're seeing all these countries start their draft and conscription. All right. You see little people, people are moving troops around. All right, deals are being made. The Lord is getting these Gentiles ready for that war. It says, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Yeah, and all these so-called weak nations they're getting those capabilities to do some damage. All right. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get ye down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. All right, and that valley of Yahweh Shaphat is that Middle Eastern region. So we understand all these nations are going to gather to fight that third world war in that Middle Eastern region. All right, and you can already see where this is heading. Everything is heading that way. Everything is going towards World War III. All right, again, Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right, these things are speaking. All right. So again, just a couple articles going, what's going on in the news. We see prophecy speaking. This is a beautiful faith booster. All right, Lord's will, this just snowballs into pure Jacob's trouble, and we're out of here. All right, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see how long they strike. every day they strike is it's beautiful. All right, it's beautiful because we're hastening the coming of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, and these things must come to pass before that great salvation. All right. But again, Lord's will, this is edifying. Once again, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect, and Abba Baba.